Justin, sitting at his desk in his study, next to his wife Kalira.
She is unstoppable. Half the world already belongs to her.
Then you must seek a power that matches hers.
You mean the goddesses? The very beings she serves?
There are many goddesses, Justin, but not all of them serve Darinka. Balance. If one sister stands up, the others must respond. Find one who will oppose her.
Justin had spent his life leading armies, but this was something else entirely. And yet, Kalira had never been wrong. That night he gave the order to travel north. The northern forest stretched endlessly, their trees heavy with ice and silence. Justin rode through the frozen lands until he found a ruined temple, buried in the snows of time.
I seek an audience. If any of you are still listening, I ask your favor.
The silence stretched on, heavy and unyielding. Then, laughter. It came from everywhere and nowhere. Then she appeared. Momo, the goddess of many faces, was impossible to define. Her form changed as she walked. They were all her and none were.
Do you wish to stop the Dark Queen?
I wish to restore balance.
Balance is always part of the world. Even now, my sisters rule the South, but they can't play alone forever. If I'm going to help you, there must be something in return. Do you accept my pact?
Justin hesitated, but if he wanted to take on Darinka, he needed more than steel and tactics.
I accept it.
Momo smiled, and the world around her shook.
So let the game begin.
In the capital of the northern kingdoms, the sky was ablaze with letters of fire. The goddesses do not forget. Await my arrival and tremble. People panicked. Darinka was marching north. The end had come. At the War Council of the Northern Kingdoms Alliance, chaos reigned. The men argued, each shouting over the other, their voices filled with fear. No one had a solution. Then Justin came in. There was silence. His eyes, once cold and calculating, now burned with an unearthly yellow fire.
I have seen the future, and I know what to do.
Using Momo's power, he laid out his plan. Not surrender nor retreat, but war. A war unlike any they had fought before. So with no other option, they named him War Tzar, and his word became law. In the great square of the capital, people gathered in terror. On the platform, Justin raised his hand. Above them, the air shimmered, bending and twisting until she appeared.
This is my disciple. To him I grant a part of my power. The more you worship me, the stronger he will become.
People fell to their knees in front of the image of Momo floating over the city. Temples in honor of Momo then began to be built. The cult of Momo was reborn in the north. In the ethereal realm of the goddesses, Momo's laughter echoed through the void.
Sisters, you have played alone long enough. Now it is my turn to enter the game.
Balance must be maintained. The game will continue until only one goddess remains on the board. The goddesses of the Amaverse turned their gaze toward the mortal realm where the war had already begun. And Darinka felt the change of intention of the winds. The game was no longer just hers. The real conflict begins. Join us in the next chapter, The Great War, where the goddesses will clash and the world will burn.
She rose from ashes, cold and grey. Her heart once scattered, lost her way. From broken vows and endless tears, she forged a path to quell her fears. Injustice marred her every stride. With every breath she turned the tide. The chains that bound